Can you believe it's been a year since we did the best 4K TVs for the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S game systems under 1,000? Happy Thanksgiving, and it's great to have you back. This year, I want to cover the best 4K HDR gaming TVs that you're probably going to see for Black Friday. So I have three choices. Last year we had entry model, the Vizio model M50D1. Then the middle class we had the Samsung 7000 series, and then the top of the line under 1,000 was the 850, which was a great TV. I ended up getting the 700 series of the Sony, and took that right back after a year because the blacks and the local dimming, I think, were really bad. Ended up getting the 850, and then we had the same issues. It had a high input lag, which is something I didn't really cover last year, but input lag is basically, the milliseconds that it takes for you to make a move or action on your controller and then see it on the display. So the Sony had a higher one than some other models. So the 850, I noticed when I was watching this movie at nighttime that when, let's say, a fire was lit up, let's say on this section, it would just get bright, like the whole screen would get bright or something. It was weird. It just looked like totally weird. It was like you could see the zones where it was getting bright. So I took that back, and I ended up getting everyone's favorite from last year, which was the Samsung KS8000. That was everyone's favorite, and according to ratings.com and a few other people, this was the best TV for your buck under $1,500. So I ended up getting this one, and it's actually cheaper now, but this was the best model 4K HDR, and it still stands up pretty good against some of the other TVs. This model here is actually better than the MU series, which is the new model. So the KS is actually better than this year's model, the 2017 model. So in other words, 2016 is better than the 2017 model. But I have a few choices here. So let's go from the bottom up. I can recommend the TCL, which is kind of like, I first saw this brand on like Amazon and I think at Target. But this brand here, the TCL, is a pretty good budget TV. It has 14.2 milliseconds input lag, and it has HDR. It has a wide color gamut, which is good because that can produce the highest lights and the brightest lights and the darkest blacks. So the input lag is 14.2 milliseconds, and it has a wide color gamut, like I said. It has, I think, Roku built in, 55-inch for that price, and this is Black Friday weekend now. It only comes in the 55-inch. It has Dolby HDR, True 4K, and 3 HDMI inputs, and it's 120 megahertz for as far as speed. So I would recommend that as the best budget TV for 2017. The mid-range, I probably recommend the X900E, which is available in all of these sizes here, or the MU8000. But like I said, the MU8000, which is the replacement for the KS8000, is worse than last year's model. And even though it's on sale, let's say the 55-inch is $897, we have the X900E at $999. I'd still recommend this TV over the MU because it has the low input lag of 34 milliseconds, which is still pretty good, for competitive gamers or whatever. I know the less the lag, the better, but 34 is not too bad. The Sony has better picture quality and higher brightness. It has better local dimming, and it has great picture quality control and motion. So the MU8000, not so much. So on the top of my list, I'll suggest the LG B7A. It's an OLED display. It has 21 milliseconds of HDR latency for gaming, and it has great motion. It's the complete HDR gaming package according to ratings.com, which I use a lot when I choose mostly any TV that we purchase. It's kind of pricey. These are the Black Friday prices, like I said. A good alternative to that would be the X930E, which is just a little bit cheaper and has a response time, a latency response time of about 25 milliseconds. And so it's pretty similar to the LG B7A, but just a little bit cheaper. It has great response time and it has great motion responses as well. The TVs, I would say, last year were a little bit better than this year's model. Now take for instance Vizio, which was on the list last year, and Vizio is a great brand, but their M series, which is this year's models, are worse than last year's P series. The P series were a little brighter and had lower input lag. So personally, I would just get a KS8000 if you can find it. And I still think that they have a few in stock at Best Buy and Amazon, and I'd probably just rock out with that because you can find it cheaper. And I ended up getting that one, and I pretty much love it. I love the interface of the Sony better, and it looked like a more expensive TV, but the brightness and the local dimming on the KS8000 had a better screen for HDR, which I use with my PS4 Pro. So I know a few guys got the Xbox One X, like my boy Manny, and he has the Sony 700 series, and he loves it. So it all depends on what you like and what you're going to use. If you're not really a professional gamer, you can get a TV with regular input lag of like 40 or 50, and you'll be all right. But if you're really competitive, you play a lot of Call of Duty, first-person shooters, you want something with a low input lag. And something like that, I think the best TV in its price is probably going to be the Sony X900E series. So I'm going to recommend that one as my favorite pick because it's right there in the middle spot. And I think, you'll be happy with that one. So you definitely have to have the HDR for the gaming systems that we have, the PS4 Pros. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know what you think. If you have any ideas of some other good TVs, put it down on the list in the comment section so other people can discuss it and see what your recommendations are. And then, but if you have any other questions, whatever, let me know and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. I'm willing to help anybody out. All right. So you guys have a great holiday, and I'll see you in the next tech video. Peace.